And this is a great week for tulip time. Those tulips really blossoming here in Holland.
Blake, they certainly are, but we know that most years tulip time does not turn out as bright and beautiful as this year's will.
Meteorologist Samantha Jacques crunched the numbers to see how our changing climate is impacting the event. She joins us live from Holland with more. Sam, what did you end up finding?
Yeah, Meredith and Jay, every single year, climate change impacts our environment in a different way. And this year we looked into the details on if it's impacting the Tulip Time Festival in general. And here's what we found. In just the blink of an eye, tulips turn from this to this. But what role does our ever-changing climate play in tulip development?
The timing of when we plant them happens at the same time every year, and then it's based upon Mother Nature and the weather as to when they come up and bloom.
But weather trends over a long period, known as climate, have been changing.
Now, when it comes to spring, this is where we see the most drastic changes here in West Michigan. And this is because we are by the lakes, so we have significantly more rain.
Since 1951, there has been a 13% increase in seasonal precipitation in the spring. This is in large part due to the average increase in temperatures in West Michigan. Tulip Time recognized this change in 2001.
Historically, that's a little bit before my time, but reading some documents from before, they did move it up a week just because of the fear of weather. The changing in the temperature, the warmer it got in the spring, the thought was the quicker the tulips would bloom.
This change has helped us adapt to our changing climate most years.
You know, we've only had 1 year in the 21 years that I've been doing this that we have not had any blooms during the festival. 2012, we don't talk about it very much, but STEM Fest year.
That year in West Michigan, March snapped out of winter quickly, with 9 days spent over 70 degrees, sending our tulips into early bloom, causing the legendary STEM Fest. If climate trends continue the way that they are, Tulip Time could have to adapt again in the future.
And there are two ways how climate change is affecting those events. One is the impact on the crop itself.
In this case, the timing of when they bloom.
And the second is the impact on the hospitality and tourism. And in my opinion, it's that second area, at least we can better understand and predict and think about what we can do about it.
A difficult obstacle that event planners will have to deal with, but thankfully, our tulips will continue to blossom.
Yeah, so the tulip's pretty bomb-proof.
Of course, we can still grow tulips even if, until the end of the world, even if the temperature, even under the worst climate change scenario, because it's a cultivated crop.
It's just with our climate becoming warmer, wetter, and more erratic, it may be more difficult to pinpoint when, and you might just have to enjoy looking at them with an umbrella in your hand. And really promising information that the tulip plant itself is hardy enough to withstand climate change, but we don't want to see these weeks trend towards rainier and cloudier conditions, and we also want the tulips to bloom in time for the festival. So, of course, continuing to combat climate change, continuing to make a difference in our environment will, of course, slow this trend and keep us from having rainy weeks and having more beautiful weeks like what we're expecting this time around, Meredith and Jay.
We want those tulips for Tulip Time.
Absolutely. Sam, thank you so much for bringing us this really interesting report.